Okay, my big muscular friend, I saw you the other night on Jimmy Kimmel, kind of making fun of me. Telling the whole world about how you tricked me into doing the worst movie ever made. Nah. Does it bother me? Nah. Is it burnt into my memory like a horrible scar? Nah. Well, maybe just a little bit. So anyway, as you know, I write, which is something you don't. Oh, did I say that? And I've decided to write a sequel called, for you, a sequel for you called Stop or Your Grandmother Will Beat Your Ass. And I will be directing and producing and mocking it all the way through. Anyway, you keep punching, big guy, and good luck with your film.
When things heat up in Hollywood, you know it's going to be a wild ride. And that's exactly what happened recently, with Sylvester Stallone making a big comeback and Jimmy Kimmel finding himself in some hot water. Let's break it down and see how this feud played out and why it caught the attention of so many. It all started when Kimmel, known for his late-night comedy show, decided to take a shot at Stallone. On one of his recent episodes, Kimmel made a comment about Stallone's views on the changing Hollywood scene. In a playful jab, Kimmel said something along the lines of, "Some people think they're bigger than the industry itself. Guess lifting weights makes you immune to progress." The comment seemed harmless enough at first, but it was pretty clearly aimed at Stallone, who has been outspoken about his concerns over how Hollywood is shifting. Stallone has publicly said that he's worried about the rise of political correctness in entertainment and the fact that trends are now taking priority over real artistry. Fans of Stallone weren't happy about Kimmel's remark. Social media lit up with reactions, with many calling the joke unnecessary and disrespectful. For people who admire Stallone's honest and straightforward approach, this comment felt like a personal attack. It wasn't just a critique of Stallone's opinions, it seemed to be a criticism of him for challenging the Hollywood system. What started as a small joke quickly turned into a huge debate. On one hand, some people felt like Kimmel was just poking fun at Stallone in a light-hearted way, but on the other hand, it raised bigger questions about how Hollywood treats people who don't always go along with the crowd. The backlash was so intense that it didn't take long for things to escalate behind the scenes. Sources began to report that Kimmel had allegedly blocked Stallone from appearing on his show. According to leaked production memos, Kimmel's team was concerned that Stallone might use his appearance to double down on his criticism of Hollywood, which they feared could spark even more controversy. The memo reportedly indicated that Kimmel didn't want to give Stallone a platform to push his views on the direction of the industry, worried it might alienate some viewers. This revelation raised some eyebrows, especially in Hollywood. Some insiders were concerned that even a veteran like Stallone, someone who's been a big part of the film industry for decades, could face roadblocks simply for speaking his mind. Stallone's fans were particularly outraged, calling the decision an act of censorship. Many felt that Stallone deserved the chance to explain himself, given all he's contributed to the film world over the years. The whole situation only fueled the fire. It became clear that this wasn't just a late-night spat. This was about something bigger: freedom of expression and how the entertainment industry handles people who challenge its norms. As more details emerged, people started to take sides. Stallone finally addressed the controversy in interviews, and when he did, it wasn't just a simple response.
When George Washington defended his country, without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
I guess those punches Rocky took to the head were real after all. George Washington was the father of our country. Donald Trump is the father of Eric. Big difference there.
It was a masterclass in honesty and self-assurance. Instead of going on an emotional rant, Stallone spoke thoughtfully and clearly about his concerns. He said that Hollywood used to be about pushing boundaries, but now it feels like the boundaries are shrinking. He pointed out that artistry is being replaced by what's trendy, and if you don't follow the trends, you're out. In another interview, Stallone took issue with the culture of exclusion in Hollywood. He asked, "When did we decide it's okay to silence people just because they think differently? That's not creativity, that's conformity." His words resonated with a lot of people who feel that Hollywood today has become more about fitting in than standing out. Although he didn't name Kimmel directly, Stallone clearly called out the situation with the late-night host, saying, "It's funny how people will criticize you for speaking your mind, but they'll avoid giving you a chance to explain yourself. That's not a conversation, that's a monologue." The debate only grew bigger, with people jumping in to support Stallone. Fans weren't just defending him, they were calling out what they saw as double standards in the entertainment world. They pointed out that Kimmel, a host who often brings on controversial guests for the sake of ratings, was now criticizing Stallone for doing the same thing, speaking his mind. Critics also noted that Stallone's views weren't anything new or outrageous, they were just perspectives that went against the mainstream, and those kinds of voices shouldn't be silent. Some people on social media started to make their case for Stallone viral tweets, and one particularly popular tweet said, "Jimmy Kimmel can joke about Stallone all he wants, but it's clear who's actually standing up for creativity. Stallone built Hollywood classics. He deserves better than this." Clips from iconic films like Rocky and Rambo quickly made the rounds, with people using them to highlight just how much Stallone has contributed to the industry. On the other hand, Kimmel had his share of supporters who defended the joke. They argued that Kimmel was just trying to have some fun and that Stallone's views were outdated. But these voices were largely drowned out by the overwhelming support for Stallone. As the backlash grew stronger, some fans even called for a boycott of Kimmel's show, accusing him of fostering an echo chamber rather than allowing for genuine, open dialogue.
If you get close, I will break your jaw. I mean, I'm just telling you right now. I don't want to hurt you. I like you. You're tall, good looking. But you're now.
Stop! Ow!
This is what I said to dinner.
Realizing that the situation was spiraling out of control, Kimmel tried to make amends. Behind the scenes, his team reached out to Stallone with an offer to bring him on the show under one condition: Stallone would have full creative control over his appearance. This meant Stallone could choose the topics they would discuss, avoid any controversial subjects, and even approve the final cut of the episode before it aired. This offer was seen as a big move, but Stallone wasn't impressed. In a statement through his reps, he declined the offer, stating that he didn't need to stage a conversation to get his point across. "If we can't have a real dialogue, then what's the point?" he said. Stallone's decision to reject Kimmel's offer was seen as a huge statement. Fans admired him for sticking to his principles and refusing to be manipulated into a staged conversation for the sake of ratings. Kimmel's team, meanwhile, was criticized for trying to use Stallone's star power to improve his show's numbers, all while pushing the perception that late-night TV was more concerned with optics than meaningful discussion. Stallone's actions not only sent shockwaves through Hollywood, but they also sparked a larger conversation about the state of late-night television. As people began to look at the whole situation, many started questioning if shows like Kimmel's were really open to different voices, or if they were just playing it safe with a narrow viewpoint. The whole drama made it clear that there was a growing demand for more authentic, unscripted content. Traditional late-night shows, with their pre-planned jokes and carefully selected guests, seemed out of touch with what audiences wanted. This was especially clear with the rise of podcasts and YouTube, where people could have honest, unscripted conversations without worrying about being edited or misrepresented. As Stallone made more podcast appearances, fans loved the depth and realness of those conversations. It was clear that people were craving more authenticity, and it wasn't just Stallone who was tapping into this trend. Other celebrities like Matthew McConaughey and Keanu Reeves had been receiving praise for their unfiltered discussions on podcasts, where they talked openly about their careers and life philosophies without the usual celebrity PR spine. This shift in the entertainment industry wasn't lost on Hollywood executives. The feud between Stallone and Kimmel wasn't just a clash of two personalities, it was a wake-up call about the future of the industry. If Hollywood wanted to stay relevant, it was clear that it needed to adapt to the changing landscape. As the drama died down, Stallone's career didn't just survive, it thrived. His reality show, The Family Stallone, became a huge hit, giving fans a rare glimpse into his personal life. The show focused not on his tough guy image, but on his role as a father, husband, and mentor. Fans loved seeing this new side of Stallone, and critics praised the show for its authenticity, something that was a refreshing change from the overly polished images that celebrities typically put forward. Stallone's honesty and willingness to show his true self resonated deeply with fans.
They don't even allow these today because they're so dangerous. But that's what they used when I did the film. I still have them because it's a time when people were tougher. Sorry, they were. When we force ourselves into tough situations, that's what the human creature is supposed to do. They're not supposed to have wheels on their suitcases. It's a convenience, no question, but it just makes things easier. Now with AI, you can literally put your brain in a pickle jar and have that machine do it. I cherish these moments. I cherish hard work. Even though I hate it, I know it's like strong medicine. It tastes horrible going down, but it makes you feel better.
Social media buzzed with clips from the show, with people commenting on how real and down-to-earth he was. One fan posted, "Stallone is the real deal. Hollywood needs more people like him." This wasn't just a celebrity feud, it was a turning point for Hollywood. While Stallone's star rose even higher, Kimmel's ratings took a hit. Late-night television, especially with networks like ABC and Disney, was feeling the pressure to adapt. Younger audiences who were tuning out traditional TV in favor of more genuine, unscripted content had made their voices heard loud and clear. As Kimmel tried to keep his show afloat with the usual scripted jokes and safe guests, Stallone's refusal to play by those rules highlighted a growing divide. Celebrities who were comfortable with real, unscripted conversations were starting to stand out, and the audience was responding. The Stallone-Kimmel feud showed just how much things were changing in Hollywood and the entertainment world as a whole. Fans want realness over gimmicks. The question now is, can traditional TV keep up, or will it have to evolve to stay relevant in this new world where authenticity is king?